Hello everyone. Today I wanted to go through the contents of my what I call a 72-hour bag. It's one that I carry in the car all the time, just in case I need to get home. It's got about 3 days worth of food and water in it, but it's called a get home bag or 72-hour bag. I do carry it with a walking stick and an extra couple liters of or a liter of extra water. So I just wanted to go through the contents of it and show it to you. So let me, it's a Maxpedition backpack. It's very nice. So let me take it off and we'll go through the contents of it. Okay, I carry a walking stick. It does have a compass in the end of it. There we go. Okay. It is a Maxpedition bag. One of the features of it that you can get as an accessory is this little pouch here. And if you pull that up, it unrolls into a nice bag, which is great for carrying the extra water bottle if you need to. So that's usually how I carry that. Folds up again real nice. And latches down. A couple of things I have on the outside. I do have a knife here. This is one, we'll call this my first item. This is a knife I picked up at a craft show. Kind of like it. It's got a little wooden lace and everything. So I've got that on the side. And then in this pouch here, I do have a flashlight. This is a very bright flashlight. It's made by 511. I keep it locked in here so it doesn't fall out. So it's a 511 tactical light, very bright. And I also keep a Leatherman in here. This is a Leatherman Skeletool. It's got a variety of different tools in it. I also have, it's got a spot where you can put in different screwdriver tips and everything. And I do have a couple extra little clips here made by Leatherman. It's an accessory for it that allows you to have a lot of different types of tools, so you'll never go without a tool when you need it. So that's what I keep in that section there. On the other side, I do have another knife here I usually keep on my belt. This is kind of a nice flip knife that I usually put on my belt when I go. Now, I did mention I keep this in the car, and I keep it in the passenger seat, behind the passenger seat, and I keep it like this, at this angle, so if I'm driving, I can access this pouch here. And in this pouch, I do have my protection, and I know a lot of you, some of you are against guns, some of you are not, but I just wanted to show you what I have. This is kind of like a quick access here. I do have a Glock 27 Gen 4 firearm with a full magazine, and this pouch also has another set of magazines inside it here. So I've got 2 extra backups here. Again, make sure if you do this, you carry all the correct permits, like a carry permit. You'll definitely need that, and abide by all the rules and regulations of your state. I do also have a headband in here too. It's always good for that. And I do have an extra magazine here inside. This is kind of like an extra add-on that you can get for the bag. It'll hold an extra magazine. So that's that. This is a very rugged bag. Like I said, it's made by Maxpedition. In the front part of the bag here, I have a number of different items. My first item is probably about 300 feet of 550 paracord. I do have another bandana in here with some Velcro ties. That always comes in handy for rigging up things. And I have a life straw. This is a straw you can use to drink right out of whatever water you need to. It's got a very concentrated filter, and it'll filter out, I think they said 99.99% of any bacteria. It's a very good product. It's not that expensive either. I think this is about $15, and that is a LifeStraw. Let's see, I do have a small stove in here. I've got a pot in here I'll show you later, but this is a small stove that you just tilt up, and it has blocks in here. So you just take one block, put it in the middle, and light it, and then that would be your stove for cooking things. So there's 4 extra blocks in here. So I have that. I also have a light stick, you know, the one you break and shake, kind of like a glow stick, for any purpose that I need. I also have in here a first aid kit, and in here is a combination of a lot of different things, bandages. It doesn't go too extensive. One of the things that I do want to put in here, actually I do have in here, I already got that. It's in a waterproof little bag here. So it's got tape, and I've got some different medicines, Zyrtec and whatnot. This is kind of very important. It's called QuikClot. That may become very useful for helping to stop bleeding. So I've got that in the first aid bag here. I do have a mosquito net, kind of a netting that you can put over your hat. Very thin, but it'll definitely keep the bugs out of your face while you're walking, and if you have a ball cap, it goes great over that. You know, because in some of these areas, their bugs will just really annoy the hell out of you. I do have a spoon, spork. I call it a spork knife. It's got a spoon and a fork. It's very lightweight, so this is good for eating. And in here, I do have another knife that I have. It's kind of a general overall. I'm thinking about getting rid of this since I got all the accessories for the other ones. I do have a tick remover. This is nice, especially if you're in your woods. You need to get rid of a tick. And I have a lighter. This is my first line of starting a fire. And I do have a fishing setup in here that's very small. It's not very expensive, and it'll do the job. But it's got a little fishing reel. Comes in kind of the form of a pen. You pull it out, give it a whip, and now you have a fishing pole, which you can tie, you know, clamp in your little thing here. This is new. I have not used this yet, so I have not gotten some fishing line for it, but it acts as a regular fishing setup. And in this box, I do have an array of very popular lures, hooks, weights. These are kind of general lures that will catch anything. I talked to the fishing expert, and he said this is a good variety to have of different lures for catching different items that will work really well. So I kind of compiled that together and keep that. So I do have this complete. I just do need to get some wire to wrap on here. That's my next thing. But it is kind of nice. It just folds down into nothing, and you put it right in the pouch. So kind of interesting. You can get these on eBay pretty cheap. Okay, I do have a little bit of silver in here for bargaining tools. These are just 1 ounce of pure silver. There's some real instructions. And in this bag here, because I do carry a smartphone, and you know, you do need to charge that once in a while. This right here is a solar charger that charges USB. You can just flip it over, and you know, 5 or 6 hours of daylight will get you a good charge. It'll recharge your cell phone for you. So I carry this kind of protected with this rag here in one of these Altoid boxes. So if I need to recharge my phone, I try to keep this charged, so I'll charge it every now and then if it drops, just to have it on hand for cell phone recharging. And in the other Altoid box here, these are great. I keep a little more silver, and I also have a undisclosed amount of money here if I ever need to buy something along the way. So I put that in there. And I've got some bug spray, some Repel bug spray here, you know, just kind of quick. And if I need to, I can refill this along the way, because you know, they annoy you. And I've got some little Columbia instant coffee, because everybody loves coffee, right? I do. Okay, and I also have, this was my first method of fire right here. I do also have this, which is a waterproof container with matches in it. I'm sure you've seen this everywhere. So this is another way to start multiple fires. So that's what I have in the lower pouch. I'm sure there's nothing else in here. Okay. All right, and on the inside, and I do take this bag hiking. I've got a nice hour loop in my local state park that I take my dog with. So I'll bring my dog with me on here. So I did get a dog bowl. This is a very flat bowl that pops out for the dog, so we can drink some water at our stop halfway through our hike. It's called the Dog Whisper. So I don't know if you have a pet to take with you, but I do use this. Like I said, it's about 24 pounds, so an hour hike, it's nothing to weigh you down or anything. And I do have some water, so I bought some military canteens at a local Army surplus store. These are basically flasks, but I got this full of water, and I have another one full of water. What I like about these is they're very short and flat, so they're very nice to compact in here versus having to try to put one of the bigger containers inside the pack. So these work really well inside, and this, you know, these will hold a lot of water, so I got 2 of those. I also have a machete here, or a bushwhacker. It's a SOG. I use this for if I have to go through the woods and make my own path. So that's nice. And because it is kind of long and it has a little bit of a teeth on the back end here, I cover it with a cap so it doesn't destroy my bag, because it is the longest thing in my bag, so it comes up close to the top. I also bring some nuts with me. I've got some roasted nuts here. And I've got this box here, and I'm thinking about repacking this in something a little lighter, but it's not really that, weight isn't really that much of an issue in a bag this small. And some of this stuff in here is you know, like energy bars and stuff like that, so you know, they can crack, and you know, like hard cookies type deal. So keeping in a hard container is not too bad. But in here I've got some good I've got some of the peanut butter, and these kind of like vacuum packed energy bars. These are really nice and they last a long time. This one actually expires in 2018. So these are actually, we've ate quite a few of these on the trip for our breaks, and they are very good. They come in a lot of different flavors. I've also got a couple of the Cliff bars, and a 5-hour energy drink from Pooping Out on Energy, and some shot blocks. These will kind of get you going. They're kind of gooey, almost like a gummy bear type texture. And I've got a little bit of I got these at Starbucks actually. These are just little flavor packs to throw in the water, make it taste a little better. But those are good. So I put them in there. And I also have a hatchet here. This is a SOG. This is for basically if I need to chop anything. It's not too extensive here, but it does have a pretty sharp blade on it. And you can also use it as a hammer for tapping down. So I've got that in here too. And I have 2 extra bags for cooking stuff. This is homestyle turkey with mashed potatoes. It serves 2, so that's something you can cook up. And I also have some Thai chicken. It serves 2. So this would be kind of like emergency rations food, you know, if I do need to stay out. Like I said, this bag will get you 3 days, no problem. These are good till 2018, and you can get these at your, you know, pretty much anywhere where you have hiking stuff. Um, Now, for overnight, what I did was I compacted everything down into this one bag here. So this is my overnight bag, and in this bag contains, let me open it up here, it's pretty compressed. I could do each one of these individually. What I have in here is a hammock, a sleeping bag, and a tarp. So if I took each one of those, kind of think of it as balls of ice in a glass. You take your hammock, you take your sleeping bag, and a tarp. You've got a lot of space in between those two. So if you take them all out of their bags and you put them into one and you compress it down, it does save a lot of space. And I did notice that after I combined all of these products into one bag, it gave me a little more room in my pack. So this is a compression bag. Now on the top here, I have a couple hooks here for my tarp. So this will secure the tarp over the hammock. I've already got the clips and everything on them. And these are two lines of 550 paracord that I made up for each side of my hammock. They're quite long, so depending on how wide the span is of trees you're trying to do, these will do good. So I've already got knots already tied in them. These are trucker knots, so that I can hook it around the tree and pretty much go between any two sets of trees that I need to. So in here I have a tarp. This is a fairly large tarp. You know, it will cover the whole hammock, so if it rains I'm good to go. And I also have the hammock itself. This is a very good quality hammock. I think I paid I think this was around $80, but it's a ripstop fabric. It's got really good carabiner hooks on the end that are 400, they're rated 400 pounds a side, so that's 800 total. Of course, when you run 2 cords of 550 paracord, that's almost 1,000 pounds, so this will not break. So I've got the hammock here, and I also have a summer sleeping bag. This sleeping bag will go down to 45 degrees. It's kind of lightweight, but it's one that I use for, you know, spring, summer, almost 3 seasons. But 45 degrees is pretty good in the summertime. It's the end, or about the middle of May right now, so this will be great for it. But I use the sleeping bag, put it in the hammock, put the tarp over it, and I'm good to go. So that's my sleeping arrangement, if need be. And I also carry some rain gear. These are Frogg Toggs. So this is rain gear. It's a jacket and pants. They're pretty compact here. They're very lightweight. So this is a lightweight rain jacket. It's pretty good quality. And then you got the pants here too. You can put the pants on, keep everything dry. I don't have a bag or cover for the pouch yet. I may add that later, so that way keep the bag dry. And then the last thing I have in here is the little pot where I do my cooking with the stove. So I would take the stove out, pop it up straight, put my block on there, put the stove on. Oops. You know what? I might have to rethink the size of it. Oh, that'll work. Tilt it in a little bit. I usually eat the bars in my cooker. Yeah, it works. So I have not actually used this yet to do stoves, so this is fairly new. But anyway, in here I also have some other stuff too. I've got a compass. I've got some duct tape because that fixes all, you know that. Kleenex, because you know you can use these for anything. I've also got some fuel sticks or fuel blocks here, extra ones, just like the ones that come in here. Toothpaste, toothbrush, and I also have another very small flashlight that's rechargeable. And the reason I got this rechargeable USB is because I can take my recharger block here, that the solar charger, and charge it, and I can stick this in and recharge it. So if my battery in my flashlight ever dies completely, I'll at least have a flashlight that I can recharge. So that's all I have in my kit here. Like I said, this should get you about 3 days worth of hiking to get home, and I use it hiking probably about 3 times a week in my local state park. So, all right. Well, thank you very much. And if there's any comments, please feel free. If I'd be up for any pros and cons about this. I know firearms are a different story, so we'll leave that at that. But please leave your comments. Thank you very much.